The first Russians on U.S. territory were part of Russia's internal migration. During the 18th century, the first wave of immigrants began. Russian traders and missionaries crossing Siberia reached Alaska, which became a colony of the Russian Empire. Between 1881 and 1914, over 3.2 million immigrants arrived from the Russian Empire. Nearly half of them were Jewish. Regardless of their background, Russians' main goal was to improve their economic status. Because Russia is an independent country with a democratically elected government, newcomers weren't allowed to justify their claim to emigrate on the grounds of political or religious persecution. This has resulted in a slowing of Russian immigration during the last decade of the 20th century. Those who left from the Russian Far East settled in California, specifically San Francisco and Los Angeles. Many who immigrated during the fourth wave settled almost exclusively in cities where previous Russian immigrants had gone, New York City. Russian immigrants tended to place greater emphasis on education than Americans did. This was the case among Jewish immigrants who brought a strong tradition of learning. Non-Jewish, white Russians were intent on providing their offspring with the highest possible education so they could take an appropriate place in Russian society when the communist regime would collapse and they could return home. Even when it became obvious that returning to a non-communist Russia was impossible, higher education was still considered useful for adapting to the American society. The development of Christianity in Russia began in the 9th and 10th century. Although when communism came to arise in the early 1900s, over 50,000 priests, 100,000 monks and nuns, and several hundred bishops were executed in concentration camps, and the churches ceased to exist. Thankfully, by the end of the 1900s and early 2000s, with the little hope that Russian society had left, they managed to salvage their churches and religion, and by 1991, over 25,000 new Christian churches were opened up in Russia.
Hi, my name is Anna, and I'm a Russian American. I'm the oldest of 5, and number 6 is on his way. My parents moved here from Russia for religious freedom. Having immigrant parents, it has made me work harder for what I want to do in life, because thinking of how my parents came to this country speaking hardly any English and still trying to get a job and trying to work to support us kids, so it has made me overcome my obstacles where I thought were the worst when I feel like my parents had it worse. So it has made me a stronger person. As a Russian American, I feel like some aspects as Russian Americans, we should thank this country for letting us in here, of course. And I feel like many Russian Americans take advantage of what the system here gives us, the welfare, the food stamps, everything like that. A lot of people take advantage of that, but I feel like we should strive to grow here as they let us in here and pay back by becoming teachers, becoming doctors, and helping out the community around us. Religion absolutely ties into my family's and mine, of course, American dream. My parents did come here for religious freedom, so it has made us strive to spread the love of God and be strong in our Christian faith by attending church every Sunday and growing with our Russian community at church, of course. Some liabilities I felt that kept me from taking my next step in my future and in my success, I feel like, was having immigrant parents. It's hard going into college and starting a job here in America when your parents never really did that. I kind of went in blind into applying for college. I didn't really know what to do, and it was kind of hard and stressful because I know my parents didn't get to go through this, and I did get advice though from my cousins who also had to go through the same thing. So together we grew in that.
Моя мечта, чтобы мои дети были в сохраненном месте в конце своей жизни.
Все едут в Америку для хорошей жизни.
Я приехала сюда из-за детей, потому что здесь детям было бы лучше, чем там. То, что я хотела, я уже ответила. То, что я, в принципе, на будущее смотрела, я, в принципе, это все пока имею. если это связано с христианством, то я должна стараться похожим на Христа.
Имею привилегию голосовать за нашего президента.
Здесь я более свободная, чем там. Different way, like, я могу намного смотреть очень легко, нет, не как там. Я на что-то посмотрю, все на меня посмотрят, как будто я дурочка, уж сам ты. И если я начала с моим мужем улыбаться, смеяться, и громко смеяться, для них они покажут, что это норма. Там не разрешали, если честно, чтобы дети были верующие. Вот там такая была политика, чтобы дети, если видели родителей верующих, то они старались все сделать, чтобы дети были неверующие. Вот это в нашей школе было. А нас гоняли.